Welcome to Positively Muskegon. It's Andy O'Reilly, and today I am out at the ISD with Norman Young. And Norman, just newlywed.
Yeah, I made it. I joined the club.
I tried to warn you.
Yeah, I know. You know what? I'm
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Norman has invited me out today to talk about Fathers Matter, and it's an event coming up here on the 27th. And I read into this a little bit, but I want to start this off with a pretty personal story. And we're going to get into this program here and how it all works and everything else through the ISD. Right. And it's a great start, Muskegon too. Head Start?
Yeah, Head Start.
All right.
Head Start.
I'm looking at all this info and I'm reading as we're coming up on this event for fathers, and I never had kids. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I was afraid. I was afraid that in my life, in my child rearing years, because it's never been a secret that I was an alcoholic in my child rearing years and things like that, and I was afraid that I would be more harm than good to kids in those years. So I never even tried to have my own kids. Wow. And I think had something like this been around, I might have changed my mind a little bit. Now I'm doing all I can do to make up for the grandkid department. No, you know what I mean? So I'm making up a lot of lost ground with grandkids, and I'm good. I'm okay.
Oh, I bet you are.
But the overall approach to guys and kids, and especially in today's day and age, it can be a scary endeavor.
Oh, absolutely.
And it can be it's a big commitment.
Oh,
these kids.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Tell me how It Takes Two could have done me different.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for sharing that,
dude. And we've all got a story.
Oh, absolutely.
We've all got a past.
Absolutely.
It's so important for dads to have a role in kids' lives.
Oh, absolutely. And I think even kind of going on what you were saying, it is a scary thing to have a kid. There is no rule book. There is no policy. It feels like a winging it thing. I run a fatherhood program, and I still feel like I wing it.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've learned in life, there is never a perfect time to have a kid, get married, or buy a house. Don't get me wrong, there's better times.
Sure.
But there's never a perfect time. But something like this summit gives you the opportunity to meet other dads in the community or other dads in the area who are saying, hey, you know what, I'm a father, these are some of my strengths, but these are some of my weaknesses, and I could really use some assistance in trying to figure out what are some better practices to use as a father.
And that's something guys don't like to admit.
Oh, no,
a weakness.
It's things I hate to admit, but
right.
You have to be real. There comes to a point you need to have a safe place where you can be honest and say, hey, I'm really struggling in this area, or vice versa, I'm doing really good. Maybe there's a dad over there who may be struggling in an area where I feel like I'm expanding in, or I'm doing better, and now we get to bounce ideas off of each other, and
sure.
It becomes that village approach. Now we're all learning off each other, and we get to bring it to the table.
Yeah, and sometimes the sports bar isn't always the best place to do
that. Sometimes you forget to talk about being a dad at the sports bar. Sometimes you're trying to forget about everything you got going on at home. But no, this is that safe place. We got a lot of good speakers coming to this event.
Tell me some of the guys.
Yeah. So I got our keynote is Tony Jaliffe. He runs a Strengthening Families program, which is more geared towards dads, out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's from Detroit. He's been working with fathers probably longer than I've been alive. He's not that old, but probably like at least 20 years. He's been working with fathers and advocating for fathers with a lot of fathers who deal with legal issues and trying to spend more time. He co-parents, and he talks about his experiences. He has, I think, a couple of different mother of his children. So, let alone trying to deal with one mom, but he had several different other ones and trying to balance things out. And sometimes it can be overwhelming.
Sure.
He shares his experiences off of that. I'm going to jump right into the next speaker. We also have Jason Walker, who is from Friend of the Court here in Muskegon County.
Yeah, I know Jason.
Yeah, good guy. Jason Walker's a really good guy. He has been working with me as long as I've been working with dads and been very supportive. But yeah, he knows a lot about trying to navigate through the court systems when you're trying to either get more time, where you have child support issues. So he'll help you set up not necessarily an appointment, but he'll send you to who you need to see to get things done if you're struggling in that area.
And that's an area where dads and moms could both probably do a little bit better.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You got to keep in mind that when this new face comes along, it's not really about you anymore.
Absolutely.
And that kid shouldn't be a pawn.
And you know what? Jason Walker actually gave me a really good example of what parenting is, and even co-parenting is. it's a picture frame, and there's a portrait in the middle, and the kid is a portrait. The parents are only there to help support and to figure things out to make sure that the kid is the focus. We don't go to a museum or an art exhibit to see the frame. You go to see the portrait. So we make sure that the kid is the centerpiece of it, and he gives some really good examples on how to do that. So he's one of our speakers. We also have Cole Williams, who's phenomenal. He's out of Grand Rapids. He does a lot of traveling, and we were really fortunate to get him to come to this event. And he'll be talking about, like what we talked about earlier, the weight of the world almost of being a father, you know, trying to be a provider and trying to be there as far as the emotional aspect of being a father. Because a lot of times fathers are present, but they're not present. If that makes any sense.
They're there, but they're not
present. There, but they're not there. And then we also talk about, you know, when, you know, a lot of times when guys think about being a father is, oh, I got to get my wallet out, or it's the money, where your presence is more important than your presence. So being there versus just buying things. Do spend time with your child. And he has a really good message, especially we also talk about some mental health aspects of being a father, because there's in the community, which we tend to sweep under the rugs, but there's some mental illnesses that are out there, and being a father and suffering from some mental illnesses, this gives you opportunity to kind of sort those thoughts out and find resources for that as well.
There's a lot of things.
Oh and those
young people, man.
You know what, this is something that I look forward not to only help with the community, but for myself, man. I end up taking home a suitcase full of tools of great info that I need to be a better father. Like I said, I help coordinate this program, and there are things where I'm like, what do I do in this situation? So it's definitely a learning experience.
Yourself. Did you grow up in a traditional family?
You know what? I absolutely did. That's
Good
so
for you.
funny.
See, I did too.
You know what? And it still feels like I'm winging it. I hear a lot of guys say, you had your dad there, and you had a great example, but it is totally different trying to do it on your own.
And what I'm getting at is, we come from traditional settings, families and all that other stuff, but we see it around us all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
All this different kind of stuff. So it's not like we're here preaching.
No.
We ain't pointing any fingers or anything like that. But it's just, hey.
And it's a learning thing. And even when you say the traditional thing, it's so crazy how, what the past tradition is into now, because there is no mom, dad, dog, cat, 2 kids in the picket fence anymore. You got a lot of blended families. You got stepdads, you got grandparents taken in. So this is not only geared for fathers, this is for all male role models. So if you're stepping in and dating women with kids and like, hey, I want to get more involved, how do I, or am I crossing boundaries? So it gives that opportunity.
It sounds like a great program.
We got
talk about the is there a cost?
Now this is completely free.
Whoa.
It is free, my guys. It's free. Lunch is provided. We got a lot of free resources there. You get to connect with other dads. And another thing, too. So this is a fatherhood event, but we are doing one breakout session with me and a surprise guest. You will have to come to see who that is, but it's about co-parenting. And that breakout session is called One Love, Two Homes.
Okay.
Like I said, that traditional mom, dad, picket fence thing, it's not as prevalent as it used to be.
It sure isn't.
And a lot of times you have parents who are co-parenting and trying to figure it out. Even if you're married, essentially, you're still co-parenting. It's still two different thought processes and values. So it's trying to keep the kid the focus, and we give helpful tips along the way of, and I share my story too of co-parenting, because mine wasn't always peaches and cream.
Nobody's was.
No. When we decided to do a separate thing, trust me, we almost had a police escort there. Things got hectic. It's life. We're talking about probably the most important thing you have in your life, and you have to share it with another person. So trying to figure out how to make that happen. We also get to talk about at the summit. So
I wish the camera could pick up the passion in your eyes for this.
Oh, I love this thing, man.
It is incredible to watch and see you and your drive behind this whole thing.
Well, you know what? I have a really good support system. We have a lot of great help behind the scenes. The Fathers Matters group consists of other nonprofits in the community, and they send a couple mails that they may have, and we kind of team together and we get this thing going. The Intermediate School District is like huge on making this a push and trying to support our fathers.
Important for their work.
Absolutely. No, it is definitely. I get so much from help coordinate this program, and I'm truly the father I serve. The fathers that we're going after, I'm one of those. I'm co-parenting. I'm still trying to figure out what fatherhood is about. I have a 5-year-old at home, so I'm still learning, and this gives me opportunity to learn and to kind of share of some things that I've come across along the way.
They are fun at 5.
Oh yeah, man. Dude. Handful though, man. Handful.
You know, I'll tell you what though, the better part is being the grandfather of a 5-year-old.
I bet.
Because you're out there laying down all the rules.
I know.
And guess what? I'm breaking them.
That's it. All the time. It is counterproductive bringing your kids home to your grandparents. Man, it's no, you can't do this, and grandparents are like, go for it.
You know what though? Grandparents don't care.
They don't.
No,
they don't. But where was all this kindness when we were kids?
Well,
where were the gifts? Where was this quality time? Where did this come from?
I'm still complaining about it too, man.
Yeah.
But here's where the payoff comes.
Okay.
At some point, your parents are going to be on their way to a nursing home.
Yes, sir.
Dangle that over their head. That's what I do now.
I got you.
October 27th. This is happening at the Career Tech Center.
Career Tech Center, right up the street from the Intermediate School District. It's 200 Harvey Street.
Register ahead of time?
You can register ahead of time. There's a tech service here. We also have a Dads on Deck Facebook page.
Yep.
You can go on there and get the info, but it's a simple, or you can email me at dadsondeck@muskegonisc.org. And if you would like to register, all the info is on the website. If you do, some of it is it takes a little tech savviness. If you can't get it, come on through. It's okay. Even if you don't register, we would love to have you guys. And we're really looking forward to this. We are. Well, hey, thank you.
I'll link it all up here on Positively Muskegon. If you need some tips and what to do on how to be a better dad and learn a little bit more about it, come on out to the Career Tech Center on the 27th and be a part of this summit.
Yeah, summit. It is a summit. It is a summit, and like I said, it's held by the Intermediate School District. Also, I'm sorry, before we take off, there's we also have a really good speaker out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, named Matt Haviland, and he's gonna run it's called a Dad Cafe group, and they'll get like dads who are in the room, and we'll get to talk about some of our, once again, strengths and weaknesses of being a father. He also talks about being involved in their early childhood education of your children. We're huge advocates of Head Start here because it's the Intermediate School District, and the importance of getting involved in your children's education. Our thought is if we get involved at the early ages, it'll become routine for when they continue on. And Matt Haviland is doing groundbreaking things there in Grand Rapids as far as getting fathers involved, and he runs another fatherhood program in Grand Rapids, and he'll be one of our speakers. So October 27th.
All the links are right here. Come out and see this young guy and learn a little bit more. I love you, man. You're awesome.
Thank you. No,
great stuff.
You rock, man. Thank you for having us.
All the details are right here on Positively Muskegon.
All right. Thank you.